Being bold in 2023 is actually paying off for millions and millions of Americans. And this is because they are making changes. Now, what most people don't realize is that our economy is still struggling. Employees, they don't need to struggle right alongside with it though. They can make some changes. Now, there are things that you can actually do to improve your financial situation. For instance, you could actually change your job. You could ask for a raise. You could work a second job. You could sell stuff on the side, create a side hustle. There's a lot of options here. And again, it's never too late. I've been getting questions and comments from people over the past couple of years. And really over the past month, I've been getting more and more questions as to what can I do to improve my financial situation? Well, the first thing you can do is make more money. Well, how do you go about doing that? Well, here's the thing. You can do a lot of different things, but if you can ensure that you are being paid a proper wage for the work that you're doing, then and only then you'll be happier and you'll most likely be making more money. Let me just tell you this. Did you know year over year, real wages actually have declined by 1.8%? Yeah, that means you are not getting paid what you used to or what you think you are supposed to be getting paid. Did you also know that current inflation is sitting at 6.4%? This means that most Americans are behind inflation by 8.2%. That's a problem. Now, there are multiple things that you need to understand. The first thing that you need to understand is that if you are behind inflation, this is going to devastate the average US household. This is why I'm constantly telling you what is going on to make sure that you are up to date. Now, here's what has happened over the past year. More and more Americans are simply leaving their jobs in search for something greater. They think it's time to switch, make that change. And in most cases, the majority of these people are leaving their job and receiving a higher income. Yeah, more than 50% of workers who decided to change jobs over the past year have actually been rewarded with a pay increase. And this is greater than inflation. That means they're getting more than 6.4% of an increase. How great is that? When most Americans are not getting a pay bump. They're actually seeing that their wages have stalled because their employer says, you know what, we just don't have any money. Now, here's the thing. We also know that for those that switched jobs in 2022, 49% of them were able to keep up with inflation, while only 42% of those that stayed in their current jobs were able to stay ahead of inflation. So it was better to switch your job. Now, I just want to, preface this with saying, doesn't mean you'll be happy. Just because you make more money does not mean you're going to be happy with your new job. We have seen that a lot of people are happy at first, but then they regret the decision that they make. Now, according to the last report, about 60% of people that switch jobs were not happy with the switch that they made. So, just keep that in mind before you decide to switch your job. Now, let me be clear on something. Just because you switch your job doesn't mean you're going to be better off. And just because you stay at your current place of employment does not mean you're going to be happy either. Here's the thing. Older workers are lagging behind when it comes to keeping up with inflation. According to reports, only 38% of employees 55 years of age and older saw an increase in their real wages in 2022. That's a problem. This also means that we have seen a drop of 15% since the pre-pandemic numbers in 2019, which means, and again, when you compare this to employees that are 16 to 24, 60% of them got raises above inflation. So here's what's happening. People that are 16 to 24, these are this is the age group that employers want. They want somebody younger that they can train, that they can hopefully train into the employee that they need for their business, but somebody that would also stay long term. Somebody that's 55 years of age, chances are they may stay for 10 years, 15 years. But then most cases, they're going to retire. They will be done. So, does an employer want to put in the time, effort, and money into training an employee for just a few years? Probably not. That's why they're going with the younger generations. Now, I want to be very clear on something. It's not too late to go and change your job, change your career, change your place of employment. You can do that. It is your prerogative if you want to go and do that. But just understand, right now in 2023, being bold is still paying off for millions of employees. But do you want to be bold? That's the question that you got to ask yourself. So, what I can tell you is economists do believe that more employees are going to leave their current jobs and find something better, find something with higher wages, with more benefits, and a more favorable schedule. And you may be able to do that too. But here's my piece of advice for you. First, if you're going to look around, fix your resume. The second thing is if you are going to go into an interview, make sure this is a job that you are willing to take. And I say this because somebody wrote to me just last week and said that they went on an interview. When they went to that interview, there was somebody else from their office that was there at that exact same interview and told their boss that they were there. Yeah, that person no longer works for the company. Now, I don't know what happened, didn't ask, but if you are going to a new job, going to an interview, make sure that is a job that you would actually want. Don't just go to try to improve your interview skills because you never know what's going to happen. All right? So, it's never too late. You can make some more money, but you may have to change your job.